Let me ask you a question that might hurt a little. Why is it that you can spend 3 hours scrolling on TikTok, watching videos of strangers dancing or cutting soap, without feeling a single ounce of fatigue? But the moment you open a book or try to start working on your business, your brain physically hurts. You stare at the screen, you feel restless, you feel bored, and within 5 minutes you are back on your phone, telling yourself just one more video. You tell yourself, I'm just lazy, or I have no discipline. But that is a lie. You are not lazy. If you were lazy, you wouldn't have the energy to play video games for 6 hours straight. The truth is, your brain is hijacked. Your brain isn't broken. It is doing exactly what it is designed to do: avoid discomfort. You are living in a state of cheap dopamine overload. Your brain has been trained to expect a reward every 15 seconds. You are addicted to the chemical spikes of modern life: sugar, notifications, likes, porn, and infinite scroll. Here is the neuroscience. When you flood your brain with cheap dopamine all day, your receptors downregulate. They shrink. Think of it like hearing. If you are at a heavy metal concert, you cannot hear someone whispering. Hard things, like reading, working, or exercising, are whispers. They release a slow, steady burn of satisfaction. Cheap things, like TikTok or junk food, are heavy metal screams. Right now, your brain is deaf to the whispers of success because it is being deafened by the screams of consumption. You literally cannot feel motivated to work because the biological signal is too weak. But what if you could flip the switch? What if you could reset your baseline so that staring at a wall feels entertaining and writing an essay feels like playing a video game? Today, we are not just talking about a detox. We are breaking down the Dopamine Resensitization Protocol. This is a system to strip away the noise, heal your receptors, and rewire your neural pathways so that you actually crave the pain of hard work. By the end of this video, you will have the exact schedule to turn your brain from a consumption junkie into a creation machine. Let's rewire your mind. All right, let's open up the brain and fix the wiring. Most people think dopamine detox means deleting Instagram for a day, feeling bored, and then going right back to their addiction 24 hours later. That is not a detox. That is a tolerance break. It does nothing to change your baseline. If you want to actually crave hard work, you need to systematically rebuild your reward system. We are going to use the Lotus Method combined with neuro-friction design. This is how you trick your brain into enjoying the struggle. Step 1. The Boredom Reset. We need to start with a shock to the system. Your brain is currently drowning in noise. It's like trying to listen to classical music at a construction site. You can't hear the music because the jackhammers are too loud. We need to kill the noise. When you blast your brain with high dopamine activities, your receptors shrink to protect themselves. To grow those receptors back, you need to starve them. You need to embrace stillness. So, pick one day this week. Sunday is usually best. For 24 hours, you are going to enter low dopamine mode. No screens. Phone off, laptop off, TV unplugged. No music or podcasts. These are constant inputs that distract you from your own thoughts. No junk food. Eat plain, whole foods. The activity? You can write, you can walk, you can meditate, or you can stare at a wall. This sounds like torture. Good, it's supposed to be. When you remove the cheap dopamine, your brain starts screaming. It's the monkey mind panicking because it has to face itself. But after about 4 to 6 hours, something magical happens. The boredom becomes clarity. The mud in the mind settles. Suddenly, doing the dishes or reading a dense textbook feels interesting. Why? Because relative to staring at a wall, reading a book is a dopamine spike. Step 2. Catch the scam. Once you are back in the real world, your brain will try to trick you. It will say, "We'll start in 5 minutes," or "Let's just clean the kitchen first." This is your brain's survival mechanism. It is designed to avoid discomfort. Neuroscience shows that simply naming an emotion reduces its power. When you say, "I am feeling bored," you move activity from the emotional amygdala to the logical prefrontal cortex. You turn a feeling into data. So, you need to catch the scam in real time. When you feel that urge to grab your phone or check the fridge when you aren't hungry, pause. Say out loud, "Nice try, brain. I see what you're doing." By acknowledging the resistance, you separate you from the brain. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. Without this awareness, you are playing chess blindfolded against a grandmaster who cheats. Step 3. The gateway task. Now, how do we actually start the hard work? Most people try to force their way through resistance like pushing a car uphill with square wheels. They say, "I am going to study for 4 hours straight." Your brain sees 4 hours and treats it like a lion attack. It freezes. We need to slide under the radar using the gateway task rule. Make the first step so stupidly easy that your brain can't say no. Don't say, "I'm going to work out." Say, "I'm just going to put on my shoes." Don't say, "I'm going to write an essay." Say, "I'm just going to open the document and write the title." Once you do the small thing, the pain of starting vanishes. You are now in motion. And once you start, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine for making progress, which builds momentum. Step 4. Flow with the river. You have started, but now you want to quit. The work is hard. The ancient philosophy of Taoism teaches us to swim with the river, not fight it. In modern terms, this means lowering the bar of expectation. Use the 10-minute contract. Tell yourself, "I will just do this for 10 minutes. If I still hate it after 10 minutes, I am allowed to quit." This removes the pressure. 10 minutes is nothing. You can do anything for 10 minutes. But here is the trick. You almost never quit. Once you break that initial surface tension, you enter a state of flow. The resistance disappears. Step 5. Single slice focus. You are working, but then you check a notification. Then you switch tabs. Then you check email. You think you are multitasking. You aren't. You are switch tasking, and it is destroying your IQ. Every time you switch tasks, your brain leaves residue on the previous task. It takes energy to switch back and forth. This is why working for 2 hours with distractions feels exhausting, but working for 4 hours in deep focus feels energizing. Shaolin monks don't try to master every move at once. They perfect one punch, then another. You must do the same. Pick one high-impact task. Give it your undivided attention for a set time, 25 to 50 minutes. No tab switching, no just checking messages. Put your phone in the other room. Deep single-task focus can make 2 hours of work feel like 6 hours of progress. Step 6. Patience and the bloom. Finally, we need to talk about the result. You will do this protocol for 3 days, and then you will say, "I'm not a millionaire yet. This doesn't work." That is the cheap dopamine talking again. Cheap dopamine is instant. Real success is delayed. Think of the lotus flower. It pushes through the mud for a long time before it ever sees the sun. If you yank the flower open before it's ready, you kill it. Your growth is the same. Impatience is just another form of resistance. Understand that progress is compounding. Nothing happens for a while, then everything happens at once. Think of every hard session not as a chore, but as one petal opening. You are building the capacity to suffer. And the person who can suffer the most without quitting is the person who wins. Here is the best part. When you stick to this protocol, when you starve the distractions and stop fighting the river, something weird happens. You stop needing willpower. Right now, working feels like holding your breath underwater. It's a struggle. But once your receptors heal, working feels like breathing. You will sit down to write, or code, or study, and you won't feel that itch to check your phone. You will feel a quiet, steady burn of focus. You will look at cheap dopamine, the TikToks, the junk food, the drama, and you won't feel excited. You will feel bored. You will see it for what it is, noise. Remember the lotus. The flower doesn't bloom because it forced itself open. It blooms because it stayed in the mud. It endured the darkness, and it trusted the process. Your brain is the same. It will resist at first. It will scream. It will beg for the old habits. That is just the mud. But if you stay in the friction, if you embrace the boredom, the bloom is inevitable. Hard things stop feeling like torture. They become proof that you are leveling up. So, here is the challenge. I don't want you to just watch this video and get a mental dopamine hit. I want action. I want you to pick one hard thing, just one. Maybe it's the gym. Maybe it's that business idea. Maybe it's studying for that exam. And I want you to apply the 10-minute contract to it today. Go to the comments right now and tell me, today I will tackle. Commit to it publicly. When you write it down, you make it real. And if you want more brain hacking, focus boosting, and procrastination destroying content, you know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's grow your Lotus. Your brain is a supercomputer. Stop using it to browse the internet and start using it to build your empire. Let's get to work.